I'm good. I'm good. Interference from something. I don't know what.
Here, I can do a mic check for you.
Is there a recorder up here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, mic check 1 2 1 2 mic check. How we coming in back there, News? Good. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Oh, perfect.
Salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
Salute, pledge.
Juro fidelidad a la bandera de los Estados Unidos de Norteamérica y a la república que representa una nación bajo Dios, indivisible, con libertad y justicia para todos.
Salute, pledge.
J'engage ma fidélité au drapeau des États-Unis d'Amérique et à la République qui représente une nation sous Dieu, indivisible, avec liberté et justice pour tous.
Salute, pledge.
I salute the flag of the state of Oklahoma. Its symbols of peace unite all people.
Places.
memo to staff.
Yep.
Yeah, good. Hey, everybody, we are so excited to be here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. What a great day to be in T-Town, as we like to call it. I'm especially excited to be here at Eisenhower International School, and want to thank Dr. Connie Horner, the principal, for her leadership and for welcoming us here to your great school. This is a immersion school for Spanish and French, and I was telling the young people that greeted me earlier, it is a goal of mine to learn Spanish, so I am so envious. This is going to be such a great advantage for you to be bilingual, and just encourage you to keep it up. It's also, this school is a great part of Tulsa Public Schools, and we have our superintendent here with us, and you do an amazing job. We're so excited for your leadership. And it's the perfect backdrop, really, to announce a new season for Oklahoma students, for families, and for teachers. Today isn't just about a new leader for the Oklahoma Department of Education. It's really about a new mindset and a new movement. When I took office back in 2019, I said that the turnaround in Oklahoma was going to start right here, right now. Y'all remember those commercials? You're going to start seeing a lot more commercials of other kinds over the next couple years too. But we really, when I was taking over as governor and running in 2018, we had no money in savings. We were having budget deficits. You probably saw, remember the teacher walkouts happening in 2018. Also, thousands of students were leaving Oklahoma and going to other states after graduating. When I graduated from college, and then after that, a lot of people were going to Dallas to get jobs, and Texas to start their careers. We just didn't seem to have the winning attitude in the state of Oklahoma. But the turnaround started, and I'm so proud of the success we've had over the last 7 years. Today we have record savings, over $3 billion in our savings account, budget surpluses, some of the best teachers in the country, and more people are moving here to the state of Oklahoma than ever before. We're top 10 in people moving to our great state. And probably one of my favorite stats, 85% of our college graduates are now staying right here at home in the great state of Oklahoma for all the opportunities, not only in Tulsa, but in Pryor and in Oklahoma City and in Grove and Enid and Lawton and all over our state. So a mindset shift is starting to happen. And today is a new day for the Oklahoma Department of Education. This appointment is important, not just because it marks a new leadership in the department, but because it also signifies this mindset shift that I'm talking about. If in Oklahoma, if we're going to be top 10 in everything that we do, we obviously need to be top 10 at education and in our school system and prepare our students for the road ahead. And I tell people all the time, everywhere I travel and all the speeches that I give, is it doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat or you live in rural or urban Oklahoma or you live in New York City or you live in Madill, Oklahoma. We really all want the same thing as Americans. And too much has been dividing us. And we need to come together and we need to focus on education. We need to focus on our economy. And we need to focus on infrastructure and healthcare. And I tell everybody, let's focus on those four things. Let Washington, D.C. play politics. We're trying to influence them a little bit as well. But in Oklahoma, we want Oklahoma to be the very, very best state to live, to work, to raise our family. And we can do that together as a community. And when I took office, I knew we needed a system that emphasized the learning needs of every single student. That's very important to me. I have 6 children. They all learn differently. Educators that spend their lives doing this, you know that kids need different things and they need different tools. And that's why we passed open transfer. We saw some kids wanting to go to different schools for different opportunities, and so we knew that was very, very important. So I want to thank the legislature for getting that across the finish line. Open transfers was really important. We also passed the best education freedom plan, I think, in the country. And I remind people all the time that rich people already had school choice. First thing they do is they decide what neighborhoods they're going to move to, or what school district they want to be in, and where they can get their kids into the best school, or if their kids are being bullied, or they want more opportunities, they're going to move their kids to another school. And so with our education freedom, now every single parent has a refundable tax credit to move their kids if they think there's a better opportunity for them. That also injects competition into the system that holds everybody accountable. Everybody gets better. And I knew our schools also needed to be secure. So we want our kids spending time learning, not worrying about their safety. So we passed Secure Our Schools and the Alyssa's Law. I knew we needed kids that were graduating college ready or career ready. So we created different pathways for kids to move so they can have more hands-on exposure through different class options, more school choices to fit their needs. I'm taking a trip to Switzerland to look at their model. What's fascinating about Germany, Switzerland, some of these other countries, and I'm taking our superintendent here in Tulsa and also Oklahoma City with us on this trip, but when you're a sophomore in high school, you literally can choose to go, after sophomore year, your high school's kind of done. So your junior and senior year is when, if you want to go to college, you start preparing for college. But if you want to go a career route, you literally start going and working as an apprentice, an internship, you start getting paid, and guess what? 60% of the kids choose that route. And it's not poo-pooed like it is here in the U.S. We want kids. It actually, the average starting salary in the United States of America for a kid that graduates from trade school is $62,000 a year. The average salary for a bachelor's degree is $52,000 a year, plus all the debt that they have. And so I just encourage us to rethink how we are, our school counselors, how we're exposing our kids, making sure that we are getting them ready for the career that they need. But the mission is clear, and we're going to get it done. But before I became governor, and many of you probably are like this or maybe watching on TV, when I was growing up in Oklahoma, I had no idea that the superintendent of education was separately elected and kind of had their own political agenda. I didn't know that. The reality is that there has always been misalignment between the governor and the superintendent. At best, we had parallel agendas that with very little coordination. And at worst, you might remember back in 2022, the previous superintendent switched parties and campaigned for governor while they were serving. This has been a long struggle, and it's held Oklahoma back from becoming top 10. We can and we should change that. The superintendent of public instruction should be a position appointed by the governor. There's only 12 states in the U.S. that elect the superintendent of education. And there's really zero correlation between outcomes with those 12 states that they're having better outcomes than the other states. So I urge the legislature to take this opportunity to send to the ballot an appointment authority for the next governor to be able to appoint the superintendent of education to align with that vision, to really focus on the kids, reading and math, and getting our kids ready for the workforce instead of running for the next office. And I look forward to working with the legislature this next session. And I'm so honored that Speaker Kyle Hilbert is here in the room with us. Thank you so much, Speaker. And Pro Tem Lonnie, thank you so much. Lonnie Paxton is with us. Thank you for your leadership. Big things are ahead. And I'm excited to announce my first appointment after 7 years as governor to the superintendent of education. But maybe more importantly, I'm excited to announce the turnaround team that we're going to put alongside this person. This team will be tasked with rebuilding a vital agency and returning focus to the mission of serving Oklahoma students. We're going to be the envy of the entire country, and it starts right here, right now. With that, I want to welcome Lyndall Fields up here to the stage with me. Lyndall is a lifelong educator He's a successful business owner, and he's a great leader. He's dedicated his career to preparing Oklahoma students for the workforce. I love his background. And I can't think of anyone better to bring the Department of Education into this next season. I'm excited to have you on board, Lyndall. But with the agency of this size, this complexity, and this importance to me and to you and to all 4 million Oklahomans, he can't do it alone. So we've spent this last couple weeks making calls to some of the best education professionals that we know all across the state, asking them to step away from their jobs and to serve their state. And I'm so grateful for the team of people who said yes. And they're going to make this turnaround a reality, and they're going to help Lyndall. And I want to ask the members of some of the turnaround team to come up on stage with me. Connie Riley, come on up, who's going to be the director of OEQA. Kristen Stevens. Dr. Romel Muex-Poland. Megan Offendahl. Tom Newell. Tom's my chief, and this is such an important part that he's agreed to go over and help with this transition. Tara Thompson. And Nellie Sanders. We wanted the best and brightest helping surround Lyndall to make sure that we could put all eyes on this agency that we've had really not a lot of transparency or knowing what was happening. I also want to ask the present members of the Oklahoma State Board of Education that are here with us to come up. Chris Vandehan. And excited about a couple new members. Wes Nofire is going to be joining the board as well. You want to come on up, Wes? And Brian Bobeck, he's not with us, but he's going to be rejoining the board, and he is a great leader. He's serving also in the state of our faith-based initiatives. But this really is a new day in Oklahoma, and we're going to lead the nation. With that, I want to invite Lyndall up to greet you and say a few words. Lyndall?
Good afternoon. Governor, thank you for your confidence and for this appointment. I'm honored. I'm honored to serve the people of Oklahoma in this new role, and I promise to give you everything I have. Today is about steadying the ship. Standing here at Eisenhower, where my daughter's in 5th grade, this work is deeply personal. As a father, I share the same hopes and worries as every parent. We all want our kids to be safe, to be known, and to be prepared for the future. That's why this steadying the ship matters so much right now. Years ago, after picking Eva up from daycare at my school, we had a daycare facility in Tri-County. And I got to pick her up every day. And Eva climbed in the car. She buckled up her seatbelt, and she said, "Dad, I learned something today." And I said, "What's that, sweetheart?" And she said, "Teachers are way more important than the superintendent." And I'm like, what? And she was and is right. If you're not a teacher, a bus driver, a cafeteria worker, or a custodian like Bonnie here at Eisenhower, someone who works with students every day, then you and I are support staff. Our job is to take care of the people who take care of the students. That's why our new mantra is, if you're not taking care of the students, take care of someone who is. So today I want to start by thanking those who are most important, our teachers. To every teacher in Oklahoma, you are the heartbeat of this work. To our principals who lead schools each day, thank you. And to leaders like Principal Horner, who can often be found in the pickup line at the end of the day, carrying an umbrella, and from personal experience, I know reading one-to-one with children who need it. And Dr. Ebony Johnson, who's guiding Tulsa Public Schools with vision and courage. Thank you for the way you serve students, families, and teachers. So how will we steady the ship? By focusing on what matters most, and by working hand in hand with the Board of Education, the legislature, and the governor's office. I bring with me a perspective of more than 30 years in education, including over a decade as a public school superintendent, leading one of the top performing organizations in the country. Since retiring, I've worked alongside schools across Oklahoma to build healthy, high-performing cultures. I know what works, and I know what gets in the way. Our work begins with 3 clear priorities. Number 1, reading proficiency, because every student deserves the gift of literacy. Thank you. Number 2, teacher recruitment and retention, because nothing matters more than great educators in every classroom. And number 3, career pathways, because every graduate deserves more than a diploma. They deserve a future with options. Thank you. And to parents, you are essential partners. We expect you to fight for the highest possible good of your children. And you can expect me to fight right alongside you. Along the way, we'll lead with honesty and respect. I believe in the principle, do what you say what you mean, don't say it mean. That's how we'll operate as a state agency, and that's how we'll treat one another. Before I close today, my friends, I'd like to introduce my wife, Leanne. We celebrated our anniversary yesterday, by the way. She supports me in everything, and I'm also proud to introduce, Eva's in 5th grade back here. Oh, there she is. Hi, sweetheart. This is Eva. Also, her brother and sister are here. Jordan is there in the back. Jordan, stand up, sweetie. And her brother Blake. Blake is responsible for a divided house, having gone down to Norman a few years ago. And I especially want to reiterate my appreciation to the transition team. They're putting their careers, their businesses, and even parts of their lives on hold to serve this state in such a critical moment. This is not a small thing. It's a gift of time, energy, and courage. And I want every Oklahoman to know how grateful I am to them. Thank you very much. This will not be easy work. Turning around a ship takes time. But in the next 15 months, we can calm the waters, rebuild trust, and lay a strong foundation for the future of Oklahoma schools. So today I ask you for your patience, ask you for your grace. Together we will steady the ship and make sure it's pointed in the right direction for every student in our state. Thank you, friends.
You guys can see why I chose Lyndall, right? He has such passion for this, and just a great leader. And in Oklahoma, we're lucky to have you at the helm of the ship. And so now I'm excited to announce that Dan Hamlin is going to be joining this team as the Secretary of Education. So Dan, come on up here. Dan brings years of experience as a professor. He's currently a professor and researcher at the University of Oklahoma at the College of Education. Formerly was a Harvard professor, and just so excited that he's an Oklahoman. Right, he's an Oklahoman, and he's willing to step away and help us as this turnaround team focuses on our kids. So Dan, I invite you to the podium to say a few words.
Well, thank you very much. And I just want to thank Governor Stitt and his team for this incredible opportunity. I'm just honored to be able to work for this administration and really to get to work for our state and most importantly, to get to work for our kids. As Governor Stitt just outlined, our state has incredible promise and opportunities for kids, but they're going to need a strong education to be able to successfully pursue those opportunities. So I'm looking forward to the work, and for a number of years I've been working in academia with school leaders and educators and researching how to improve and strengthen education systems. So now that I have this opportunity to put a little bit of that know-how to work, and I'm excited to get together with our partners across the state to actually enact some real change and progress here in the state. So I just want to say I'm just thrilled by the team that's been put together, and especially our new state superintendent, and just really looking forward to hit the ground running in the days to come. So thank you very much.
So as you can see, we think this is a great day for Oklahoma. It's a great reset mindset and shift in the Department of Education, and so thankful for the team behind me that's stepping up to serve their state. So with that, we'll open it up to some questions for our team here.
Rick Merritt on Fox 23 here in Tulsa. I can't tell you how many emails I've received over the past 3 years from teachers who feel like they've been beaten up worse than a pinata. What is your plan for increasing teacher morale and giving them the respect that they are entitled to? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I think it starts today with acknowledging our appreciation for them. I think people need three things. Number one, they need meaningful work. They need proximity to a leader who cares about them. And finally, they need leaders to let them know they're proud of them. So we'll begin to establish those core values across the state agency, and hopefully others across the state will begin to do the same thing. So we just want to share our appreciation and let them know how much we appreciate them.
I know this is very early to ask this question, but as you come in, you're only going to have about a year in this role. Do you have plans to run again as the incumbent, and what would make or break that decision for you?
Not sure. The answer is no. I'm committed. I'm laser focused on what needs to be done at the state agency to right that ship, to calm the waters. I don't plan to spend any energy running for office. I'm not a politician, so our time's going to be spent at the agency.
I'm glad he said no, because that was a question I asked in the interview process, because I wanted somebody not focused on the next election. Let's focus on the kids. That's why I'm really encouraging the legislature to put something to the ballot to say, hey, let's change the way we do this, like most other states. And so glad he said no on that one.
This one's for the governor, Dylan Brown, KFOR. I guess I have a two-parter question. So when you put in, picked Walters, necessarily endorsed him, you have a quote where you literally say he's going to get us to top 10 in education. Or 50th, 45th to 50th in education in the nation. Do you regret that comment? And then also, why should Oklahomans have faith in this person when, I mean, we've seen Friesen, a little bit of Zumwalt, Walters now, in the past year and a half, 2 years. Why should Oklahomans have faith in this pick?
Well, first off, there's 30,000 state employees, and so you don't always get it right on picking people, but it doesn't mean we don't we don't move forward and try our very, very best. And as as I outlined earlier, the governor doesn't have the authority. You handcuff the governor. That's why I think this move to make this an appointed position by the next governor, it's not going to benefit me. It's only for the betterment of Oklahoma. So, but as far as the proof's going to be in the pudding with Lyndall. This is my first appointment to this position, and I think we've got a really, really good track record across state government. So the point of your question, you don't always get it right, and people move forward. Public service is hard, and I don't want to cast shade on anybody, but I think it's time for a reset in education, and I think Lyndall is the right person to lead that.
Murray Evans from the Oklahoman. With this new team, what happens to the folks like Matt Langston and other leaders who have been in place the last couple of years?
Well, we've had no transparency. We don't know exactly what's happening inside the agency. That's why we have a team. We've got all these smart people around us that are going to go in there and look at everything, look at every contract, look at every vendor, look and see what's happening. It's my understanding the person that you mentioned is no longer at the agency, but I know Lyndall's going to roll up his sleeve with the team behind us, and they're going to be looking at all that, and they want to. I'm sure there's going to be some turnover. There's going to be people that are moving on, and then there's going to be some new faces in that organization. But here's the deal: if you want to focus on the kids, if you want to improve education, if you want to support teachers, I think Lyndall said it very, very well. I say it all the time that we're here to support the frontline people, and I think that's you can see it in his heart and his attitude, and he's going to go through and give everybody a fair shake. But we're going to try to get the politics out of that agency and focus on getting the money to the classrooms, to the teachers.
Devin, Fox 23. Are some of the contracts that have been criticized to be political with USD, like with PragerU, are those going to be reassessed how much they're necessary for the state agency?
We need a little time to get in there and find out what's actually in there. We will assess all of the contracts to look at their value, what value they're bringing to the students of Oklahoma. So just a little time to get in there and find out what's what, and we will be reviewing all of those, yes.
Hi, Amy Collado, Tulsa Flyer. My question is for the governor. You mentioned in your remarks that you've been making this transition team and making calls for it for a few weeks. Does that mean you knew Walters would be out as state superintendent before the State Board of Education or the public? And if so, for how long?
So I did not know. So he texted me and said, I want to get together with you on Friday. So that was probably 2 Fridays ago. And then before we met, that's when it started breaking that he was going to resign. I then met with him on that Friday. So it was about a week before the Friday I met with him. So you can get the actual dates for her. But and then we didn't get the resignation letter. So you can't really move forward, right, until the resignation letter. So I asked for him to bring that when he met with me on Friday. He didn't. He said he would get it to me on Tuesday, and he got it to me on Tuesday. But in the meantime, we started interviewing. We started thinking about it because we thought it was – because when he posted it online, or I don't know exactly what he did, maybe made a statement or some kind, we knew it was serious, but he never really met with me face-to-face except a text that just said, I need to meet with you. Something's come up. So that was when I started seeing it, but then I saw it like you did in the news when he made it official, but the official resignation came on Tuesday.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you, everybody.
thanks, everybody.
If you all stay seated while we get Governor in the